Well, the reason why we track snowpack so closely is because it's a key driver to things like the water supply, our drought conditions, our large forest fire danger. So we want as much snow to accumulate in the mountains over the winter as possible, but we also want that snowpack to last as long as possible, and that's why we track the melt out. And that melt rate has been concerning until we got to this late April cool pattern. Take a look at this shot here from Tuesday, the Rocky Mountain National Park, Estes Park area. Some spots got a good 5 to 10 inches of snow with that storm, and we have another one coming up Thursday and the Friday that could bring another 10 to 20 inches of snow. So that is going to have an impact. But the lesser of the impacts is probably going to be the water supply. There's very little that we can do to salvage that at this point, because one of the key drivers there is the total amount of snow, or the peak amount of snow. And we had the lowest peak snowpack in recorded history here in Colorado. On March the 12th, we only had an average of 8.5 inches of water in our snow statewide. And that is also the first time that we've had less than 10 inches of snow of water in our snowpack statewide. So the bigger impacts are likely going to be to the drought and the wildfire conditions. One of the key drivers there is the early melt, or how long that snow lasts. Now take a look at these numbers. These are the earliest snow melts or meltouts in Colorado history, and you can clearly see the connection between an early melt and wildfire danger. We had our second, third, and fourth largest wildfire seasons in history following these early meltouts. And some projections in the beginning of April showed our snow could melt out as early as April 30th, which would have been devastating. It would have beat that record by more than a month. But thanks to this cool pattern, both the snow and cold that we've had and what's still to come on Thursday and Friday, there are now projections showing that that snowpack could last into June, and maybe even avoid breaking this record for the earliest melt in Colorado history. Still concerning, but much better. I'm meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen for the 9 News Weather Impact Team.